how one update destroyed Forsaken overnight and you'll never believe it. And with YouTubers not even playing Forsaken anymore because of the various controversies. But if you don't know what Forsaken is about, the game is about where there's one player and they become a killer and the rest become survivors and you have to hunt them down and kill them. But recently there has been a new update that ruined everything. But before I get into the update that will change everything, subscribe to my channel today to get me to 10,000 subscribers today. So subscribe. But recently, Forsaken has been adding some pretty cool characters. Veronica, Guest 666, and Splasher. But the one character that everyone is having a problem with is this one, Naseratu, and the reason why people are mad about this will shock you. But Naseratu was added for an event where you had to pay 3,500 Sukars and you would get a 2x boost, but that is exactly the problem that many people had. Because no one wants to pay 3,500 Sukars for something that's only a limited time thing. But I'll be talking about how it's limited time later on in this video. But with the controversies around Forsaken, right now is not a good time to release new killers because of they have lied to their player base, they've said that they've stopped working with various bad people that they shouldn't have been working with, like the old owner that did very bad things in conversations with kids, where the person that he was talking about was 17 and his name was Shrimp, and the original owner of Forsaken was 19, which isn't technically pedophilia because they were both the age of consent, but the original owner is still in the wrong because of what happens later. And they ended up dating for around a month before the original owner got broken up with because they did disgusting things with them that they didn't like.
Hitoko was initially called out for his behavior by Shrimp on the 29th of June on 2024 with a Google document titled As Everything, which was posted to a throwaway account. The initial reasoning behind this document was to come forward regarding Hitoko's behavior and his attempts at silencing her. According to Shrimp, within an interview, whenever they mentioned anything negative towards him, he would immediately resort to degrading, derogatory remarks towards Shrimp, and would guilt trip them frequently, specifically by comparing them to his ex-partner named Mento. Now before we continue, I want to pause right here and go over something regarding Mento and Hitoko. There have been many allegations regarding Mento of them drawing material that by law would be classified as.
Now, after everything you just heard, do you really think it's the right time for them to release a character that's really expensive? No. Trust me, this isn't the worst decision that they end up making. And the part that people are really mad though is, this just seems very rushed because they were supposed to add this character later anyway. In fact, one of the devs for the game said this: just heads up, Naseratu will get their own skin and such when they move to the shop. So people are saying, why do they have to spend 3,500 Sukars on this thing that will be out anyways for probably cheaper later on? And the reason is they just wanted something to get out of the drama that they're currently in, and they thought if they released something that was overpriced and over expensive, it would cause a new drama to cover the other one, but the other one is just uncoverable. The only way to stop the other drama is stop working with the old owner because they're creepy. And another side of this is that some people also think that this shouldn't even be a killer in the game because it just doesn't fit.
But it just doesn't feel right. One, because the killer, Nosferatu, no offense, just doesn't feel like a killer that should be in the game. I know when I saw he was a killer, I was a little surprised because for the last couple of months we've been expecting people like Doombringer and Azure to be next, not Dracula.
And I completely agree with that because they should have released the other two before this one because as he mentioned, there was no hints, there was no leaks, there was no nothing that this was going to be released. And I'm pretty sure if it was teased and advertised that they were going to bring this to the game, they would have had so much backlash because this game is based on myths and hackers, and this guy isn't based on any of them. It's a red creature that just runs at you and tries to kill you. But that is stupid, but what happens later is way stupider. And you can argue that some of the other characters don't also fit that format of being a hacker and myth, but at least they have some sense to be in the game. This one just blatantly doesn't, because the other one has lore with the other characters. This one was just shoved in and we're just supposed to act like it's okay when it's really not, because the players of Forsaken are expecting more monsters that will actually be in line with the lore of the game, but this just doesn't align at all. Like this one YouTuber also agrees.
It feels like the killer was a kind of rushed concept since no one knew he was coming. No leaks, no hints, they kind of just released him. And with a game that's so centered on Roblox myths and Roblox hackers taking center stage, having Dracula in the game, it just doesn't necessarily feel right for the game. And I guess you can argue that Azure is also not a Roblox myth or hacker, but he at least has been teased and has lore with another character, so he makes more sense. at least in my opinion. Also, I like to bring up the XP boost they added in this update. I always love an XP boost, but as a premium player, knowing that 25% of what this game earns from me is going straight into Soul's pocket.
And later on in this video, he also gets mad at Forsaken for something that you kind of wouldn't expect. But now let's also talk about the 2x boost that they also added with this update. It kind of just seems they added this too because they wanted more people to like this update when no one was really liking it. So they're like, okay, let's just add ×2 here just to make it seem better. And from my conspiracy theory brain, this all just seems like a cover-up for them to hide the drama that I told you guys about earlier by adding a bad update that other people would talk about more than the actual bad drama, which makes complete sense because I also have not made a video about that yet, and I chose to make this video, which completely supports my theory. But there's also more things to support this theory later on. But the 2x boost thing also just makes it seem like they want to get more money out of this game before it just completely gets cancelled, and especially knowing where this money is going because of all the drama that has happened, it just makes me feel very eerie playing this game and also getting that new update. It just makes me feel very eerie. Now practically everyone else in this situation is just not accusing them of doing what I just accused them of, but they're definitely just milking this new update to get more money because of that. I'm gonna be the only person that says that, because if people are actually thinking logically, that is definitely what they're doing, because they know that their game is on the way out because of all the drama that Wamgo and multiple other big creators on the platform have discussed. And that's kind of scummy because they're just using a bad situation to promote their game to make it so then they make even more money out of a bad situation. I don't support that at all, and tell me in the comments if you also don't support that. But also, the next part that I'm about to talk about, you definitely won't support, because now I'm going to be telling you the definite reason why you shouldn't support this update or the game at all. It was made by someone that was a massive manipulator. In the video that Wamgo made, there's a section of the video that's called manipulation, and I'm also going to be talking about that because I think it's important for you guys to know who made this game and this update entirely.
It's honestly pathetic. Hitoko, post-breakup, decides that it's an appropriate question to ask Shrimp about who they've been eyeing, which is funny again due to the fact that, again, they're not dating anymore. Hitoko specifically asks, who is it that you've been eyeing now? To which Shrimp responds with, nobody, causing Hitoko to respond with, someone better, I think, which is an example of Hitoko obviously dating for attention and victimizing himself, which is inherently manipulative. When Shrimp was getting frustrated with his responses, and rightfully so, Hitoko decided to mention something about Shrimp, getting ready to turn away, followed with, so I bet there's somebody else. After that, Shrimp said all they wanted was him while they were dating. This is a blatant attempt at guilting Shrimp back into a relationship. Within the screen recording sent by Shrimp to us showing their Snapchat exchanges, Hitoko is seen trying to plead with Shrimp to take down their exposing document with the reason that it makes me anxious. Because Hitoko claims that I'm a now larger person on the internet and that people are beginning to spread it again and it has my name in it. Now understandably, no one wants their name plastered in with a document written about them.
And as you can see, this is the same person that made the update, and they're just blatantly trying to be manipulative. Trying to find out who your ex is eyeing or trying to date is none of your business. Even though it can hurt, it's none of your business. It seems like this guy doesn't know any boundaries and clearly has too much control over the Roblox community, which is actually very scary. This guy should not be in any type of control of anything because clearly they can't even control their own mindset. Moral of the story, you should join my Discord server, link in the description.